Direct Objects and Indirect Objects at Grammar Songs by Melissa. This video builds upon the concepts and skills addressed in identifying direct objects. You have learned that the relationship between nouns and verbs provides for the interaction of the subjects, settings, and objects we use when we speak and when we write. You have also learned that direct objects are the nouns, proper nouns, or pronouns that receive the action of the verb in the sentence. In the sentence, the football player kicked the ball, the football player is the subject. A football player is a noun. Kicked is the action that the football player is performing. Kicked is a verb. Ball is another noun in the sentence, but it isn't the subject. Since it is receiving the action of the verb kicked, it is known as the direct object. Finding the direct object is usually easy, since it often follows the verb in the sentence. But sometimes an indirect object can make things a little tricky. Did you say indirect object? What's that? This sounds like another job for Superman. Thanks, Superman, but you have other things to do. I think I can take it from here. Indirect objects are nouns, proper nouns, or pronouns that are not the subjects or direct objects of sentences. They are affected by the verb, but not directly. Then how will we ever find them? Hey, Superman, come back! Relax. I promise this will all make sense. When a sentence has an indirect object, and not many sentences do, you can always find it in between the verb and the direct object. So if I wrote the sentence, Deborah baked George a cake, Deborah is my subject. She is a proper noun. Baked is the verb that shows the action that Deborah performed. And since we're pretty sure Deborah didn't bake George, we know that George is not the direct object. Cake is the direct object because it directly received the action of the verb baked. So George is the indirect object. George is affected by the action of Deborah's baking of the cake, but not directly. Thank goodness! Could we practice some more? Sure we can. We will follow these steps and look for clues. The waitress brought Mr. Smith some coffee. First, we need to find the subject. Who or what is this sentence about? Well, this sentence is about the waitress. She's my subject. She's a person. Waitress is a noun. Next, we need to find the verb. Do you see a word that shows action? What did the waitress do? Brought. The waitress brought. Brought is a verb. Next, we need to find the direct object. We need to find the noun, proper noun, or pronoun that received the action. We need to ask ourselves, the waitress brought what? What did the waitress bring? Well, since we're pretty sure the waitress didn't bring Mr. Smith, we know that Mr. Smith is not the direct object. Coffee is the direct object because the coffee directly received the action of being brought. So Mr. Smith is the indirect object. Mr. Smith is affected by the action of the bringing of the coffee, but not directly. Thank goodness! That was fun! Let's do it again. Okay, let's do it again. The boy threw the dog a ball. First, we need to find the subject. Who or what is this sentence about? Well, this sentence is about the boy. He's my subject. A boy is a person. He's a noun. Next, we need to find the verb. Do you see a word that shows action? What did the boy do? Threw. The boy threw. Threw is a verb. Next, we need to find the direct object. We need to find the noun, proper noun, or pronoun receiving the action. We need to ask ourselves, the boy threw what? What did the boy throw? Well, I'm pretty certain the boy didn't throw the dog, so the dog is not the direct object. Ball is the direct object because the ball directly received the action of the throwing. So the dog is the indirect object. The dog is affected by the action of the throwing, but not directly. Woof! So remember, indirect objects are nouns, proper nouns, or pronouns that are not the subjects or direct objects of sentences. They are affected by the verb, but not directly. And when a sentence has an indirect object, and not many sentences do, you can always find it in between the verb and the direct object. Hooray! You've done a fantastic job learning about direct and indirect objects. Thank you for joining me at Grammar Songs by Melissa.